Well, hey there. I'm sitting here in the woods, kind of in the woods. It's a nice little nature trail. It's about 5 miles long. It goes down to Molten Falls. Um, it's near a property we're looking at, and I had to go to meet the inspector to have a discussion with him. And I thought I would hike down to the falls, but I got about 2/3 of the way and said, "No, I just don't have the energy or the motivation to go explore it today." I'm exhausted, man. I'm exhausted. Um, Being out in nature, listening to the birds, the water flow, beautiful river, those things really help to calm me down and remind me that, you know, there's more to life than the hustle and bustle that we're all forced to endure every day. I know a lot of you, just a lot of people in general, have been able to manage to escape the chaos. And good for you. I think that's great. I mean, I think everybody should. And it doesn't mean you have to go out and live in the country. You can be living in an apartment in New York City and escape the chaos if you do it right. Maybe not New York City, but maybe not a major metropolitan area. I mean, but even in Portland, you know, it's hustle bustle all the time. You go about, a quarter mile up the street and there's Forest Park, a huge wooded area with trails that some people hardly ever even go on. So there is, escape. There is nature to go out and explore, but um, that doesn't really do it for everyone. Not everybody gets the same, I guess, results out of going camping, like even going out to the woods, going out to a waterfall, just spending a day trip and visiting a place. For me, it's just like a huge difference between, day to day struggle and reminding myself of why I'm alive. But God, lately things have been just so chaotic. I mean, obviously there's a lot of shit going on in the world, but that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, there's always shit going on in the world, but usually how much we focus on it or think about it depends on how we're feeling inside. So when we're doing really well and we're busy and we're distracted, we don't worry about what's happening elsewhere. But when we're trying to either escape our problems or not think about shit that we don't want to think about, sometimes we just sit down and distract ourselves with something else, whether it's media, the news, the internet, Netflix. Um, and it's understandable because we as humans just weren't meant for this. We weren't built for all this shit. Um, I brought up the idea, the process of buying a house because it's the perfect example of stress. I'm currently not, I haven't been working at the moment. We're on a temporary leave until we get a new job, which ended up working out in my benefit because I can work on my own house, get some things done, uh, so I can get my house ready to sell. But the problem with that is that it doesn't show on my income that I'm working on my own house. So they're trying to do the loan and all this, and it's just like, oh. Sometimes my head wants to explode. You know, I I'm well aware of all the tools that are necessary to, deep breathing, meditation, exercise, eating right, thinking positive, all this shit that people say. It's easier to say when you're already in that mode, but when you keep getting pushed down a little bit at a time, it becomes overwhelming at some point where you just want to shut down. And you can't. You just can't. I mean, a lot of people do. Life gets so bad that, uh, or so, rather, just so difficult that it becomes bad through inaction, right? It's funny balancing that how much action we should be taking in our lives versus how much we should just be living and enjoying them. Um, the hustle culture, that's not my thing. But let's just say that it doesn't mean that I don't think hard work is important. I don't think a person needs to be working 20 hours a day, obviously. But we all have to put in our effort, to get the things that we want in this world. And things are changing so quickly. What used to work 5 years ago, 10 years ago, just doesn't work anymore. Jobs are changing, society's changing, everything's changing. And we just got to change right along with it, yet not change in the ways that matter. In other words, to keep our core self and our values. And just remember to be strong. And I'd like to say, just remember we do need community to help us out sometimes. We tend to acknowledge that only after it's too late, quite often. Have people in your life that you care about and that care about you. And that can be difficult to nurture and foster relationships and to build friendships, but it's a necessity, I think. Beautiful day. Well, I better get home. I got to do the rest of the paperwork and send in a whole bunch of stuff and then order some roofing for my house and figure out this inspection report and do this and do that. I'm not a paperwork guy, so better get to it. I'll see y'all next time. Be well.